What do you do if your business doesn't have an epiphany bridge story or an origin story? Hey guys, Jim Edwards here, and welcome to another edition of Letting the Chickens Out with Jim. And I think that's a very interesting question because sometimes we think that we have to have some earth-shattering story that goes along with what we're doing, where it's rags to riches or BJ, what's going on, girl? We have to, you like how I just kind of can break character there, but we think we have to have some life-altering story that is going to be earth-shattering, like rags to riches, or I was living in a dumpster and I was eating, I don't know, nothing but paleo, or I was 8,000 pounds overweight, or something like that. And though those types of stories have their place in our sales copy, they're not always necessary, and sometimes it's too much. You can hit somebody with a sledgehammer. So let's take a step back and think about what is the purpose of an epiphany bridge story or an origin story. At its core, now this is some deep stuff, y'all need to pay attention. At its core, the purpose of those stories is to answer the question, why? Literally, when you're making an offer to somebody, they're thinking in their mind, okay, why are you qualified to, it's like a little 5-year-old having why-area. Why are you qualified to bring this to me? Why should I listen to you? Why do you have something I need? Why? And that's what the Epiphany Bridge story and the origin story does, is it answers the question why. It fills in the background. It gives the behind, what's up, chickens? It gives the behind the scenes stuff so that people can fill in the picture. So sometimes the why doesn't have to be, like I said, living in a dumpster. And here's a set of questions that you can ask yourself to figure out what the mini, let's call it a mini origin story or a mini epiphany bridge story. The first question to ask yourself is, okay, what happened that made me decide to whatever? What happened that made me decide to offer this product? What happened that made me decide to teach this class? What happened that made me decide to go find somebody to develop this software for me? All right, another way that you can ask this question is, why did you decide to blank? Okay, why did you decide to do whatever? Why did you decide? And that's going to give you the answer. All you're trying to do is just fill in the background for people. And after you ask that question, why did you decide to do this? Then to fill out the story, once you've asked that question, filling out the story is, as a result of that decision, what happened? Boom. So it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a life-altering thing. It's just trying to fill in the background and answer the question why. So as an example, like I'm doing a hook story offer for a piece of software that we're going to start selling. And it's not like I have this earth-shattering, it's not like I have this earth-shattering thing with why I'm doing it. But when I thought about it, I said, okay, well, what happened was I was really frustrated with this problem that I had with being able to research hashtags. And so what we did was we figured out what we needed to do with hashtags, and then I decided to hire somebody to create software. And then we used the hell out of the software, and then we decided, you know what, we need to make this available to other people so they can get the result too. So that's really all you need to do. And so don't get stressed out about it, but just understand the purpose of an Epiphany Bridge story and an origin story, and then ask yourself the question, what happened that made me decide to do this, or why did I decide to do this? And once you that gives you the starting point, and then all you have to do is just share the details of what happened, and that brings you up to the point where you're telling people why you're doing what you're doing. So I hope that helps. Another example of the cool thing of being able to ask questions and being able to get input from somebody who's been there, done that. And just as a quick reminder, we have started promoting the gym boat, have people signing up for the gym boat. Seats are going quickly, having people sign up. Just getting the word out, and people are starting to sign up. So you need to jump on that. We'll have a link for you, thegymboat.com. You need to check it out if you think it'd be cool to go on a vacation with me for a week and be able to get all your questions answered and get those things in your business figured out that you need help with. This is your opportunity. So I'm Jim Edwards. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.